Diamond P Sports presents championship drag racing from the National Hot Rod Association. The 24th Annual US Nationals. Brought to you by English Leather Toiletries for Men. Ask for English Leather at fine toiletry counters everywhere. And by Champion Spark Plugs. For better performance, change your plugs at least once a year with a fresh set of Champions. You can't buy a better plug. And by Pennzoil, the Ask for motor oil in the familiar yellow can. Remember, when your car is worth caring for, Pennzoil is worth asking for. The U.S. Nationals. The name itself stands for the largest drag racing event in the world. 24 years have elapsed since the first Nationals was staged on an airport runway in Great Bend, Kansas. Since then, the Nationals has developed a tradition which encompasses much more than close racing, a panorama of color and excitement that ranks the Nationals with any major sporting event. The festival atmosphere prevails everywhere, and there's nothing like a pretty girl to help this massive crowd show its appreciation. Hello everybody, I'm Dave McClelland and welcome to the Nationals. Joining me here today is Steve Evans, who can tell us just how big this event really is. Steve?
Dave, the magnitude of this 24-year-old U.S. Nationals is just awesome. Over 1,000 participants, over $400,000 in cash awards, a 200-acre racing facility, 1,000 workers, about $15 million pumped into the Hoosier economy, and I mean there's not a motel room for 75 miles. 100,000 people are ready. I'm certainly ready for the finals of the granddaddy of all drag races, the U.S. Nationals.
We'll be back with racing from the Nationals in just a moment. A lot of stories have developed at the U.S. Nationals through 4 full days of qualifying. The crowd's attention has been focused on a 2-time national champion. Gary Beck of El Toro, California, won this event in 1972 and 1973. Here in 78, he debuted a brand new look in Top Fuel racing. This is his new car. Let's compare it with his old car. Look at the wing placement, look at the engine placement, look at the driver placement, the general configuration of the body. Now compare this with the 1978 version. Notice how low the wing sits above the rear wheels. The engine placement itself much further out from the rear end. The configuration of the body designed to slip through the air a little better. A windscreen designed to protect Beck himself from the blast of air at over 230 miles an hour. In the first round of racing, Gary met up against the defending champion, Dennis Baca. Side by side, you see the difference between the two cars. Baca's car, very similar to Beck's old car. And in the first round, it's Gary Beck winning it at 6.09 seconds. His speed, 233 miles an hour. Gary had a lot of trouble making this program, qualifying on his final qualifying attempt yesterday. In slow motion, you can see even better the difference between the cars. Look how much lower Beck's car sits than Baca's. And it seems to pay off as in the middle of the course, he pulls away from the defending champion. Let's go now to Steve Evans.
Brakes pretty hot, it looks like, on Gary Beck's cars. There was no chute, and the car stopped amazingly well, considering there was no parachute at all. A 6:09 wins it for Gary Beck in round number 1, and he told us yesterday he was a pressure player. Did you have to just lean all over it?
Well, we found some things wrong right at the last minute. We had to put a new wire harness on the car, and we started back up there in the last second, and it sounded a lot better. We just hope that we found it. That's true. Maybe we can race this car yet. You never know.
Well, Gary tried, but he didn't get any better, as in round number 2 racing, he faced Rob Bruins. Bruins in the far lane, again with a conventional style car. And Gary's car, the best he could muster in round number 2 was a 6:24, while Rob Bruins streaked to a 5:88, defeating Gary Beck in round number 2. Also in round number 2, we found Frank Bradley, former Winter Nationals champion, up against the low qualifier, Dave Uhara. Uhara recorded a 5.84 second elapsed time in qualifying. Relative unknown on the national event trail. Very, very strong in West Coast racing. He won this race handily as Frank Bradley went into a wheel stand at the start, losing by virtue of a red light. But Uhara had a 5.91 second elapsed time, showed that he certainly has the power that he displayed in qualifying. Ran 238 miles an hour. This is round number 2 racing. The wheel stand by Bradley costing him the race in the red light. Let's go again to Steve Evans.
You know, you have a reputation on the West Coast for being very, very sharp in the Christmas tree. Do you plan to shave it close, or do you think you got enough performance propelling you here to not gamble?
You always got to shave them close because everybody is tough here. So we're going to have to keep it the same every time.
All eyes were on the starting line for this second round race. The world champion Shirley Muldowney was matched against her former crew chief, Connie Kalita. That's right, the man that had prepared the car that carried Shirley to the World Championship decided early this season to go racing on his own. And they were matched against each other in the second round of racing at the Nationals. As we saw they were going to run each other, we asked them how they felt about it.
I raced her a couple weeks ago, and I give her 2 driving lessons, 2 of them, one right after the other.
It's just another race, Jason. He's just another racer up there, and he better have his act together.
So they're on the starting line. Shirley Muldowney in the near lane, Connie Kalita in the far lane. A close race. And there it was, Shirley Muldowney defeating her former crew chief, 5.97 second her elapsed time. Her speed 240 miles an hour. In slow motion, you can see they left the starting line together. At the middle of the course, they were still side by side. But at the finish line, Shirley prevailed by just a few feet. Connie running a 6.01 second elapsed time, very respectable. Shirley quite happy, heading back to the pits to get her car ready for round number 3, along with a number of other racers. Richard Tharp, the driver for Candies and Hughes out of Houma, Louisiana. Jeb Allen, winner of the recent Summer Nationals Championship. Kelly Brown, the man that can lock up the World Championship at this event. Young Rob Bruins recording some fine, outstanding elapsed times. Larry Dixon, a former Winter Nationals champ from California. And the low qualifier at the Nationals, Dave Uhara. Round number 3, top fuel eliminator, Jeb Allen on a burnout. The burnout, unique to drag racing, designed to heat up the tires. Let's watch it again in slow motion as Jeb Allen, with some 2,000 horsepower at his command, lets the clutch out, drops the hammer on the accelerator pedal, the tires growing in height and literally burning themselves. Heating up the tires to get as much traction as possible, as he will need it against this man, Kelly Brown, winner of 4 national championships thus far in 1978. Brissett, Drake, and Brown, they call themselves the other guys. Jeb Allen in the near lane, Kelly Brown in the far lane. Side by side, they leave the starting line. And the motor going away on Kelly Brown's car, and Jeb Allen, his hand in the air, waving to the camera. He takes the win, 5.99 seconds, defeating Kelly Brown. But by virtue of his 2 previous round wins, Kelly Brown has won the World Championship for 1978. He wanted to win this race, but it wasn't his day. The motor going away at that point for Kelly Brown. Here we see Kelly taking off running, and he's going down to congratulate Jeb Allen. Let's go to Steve.
Kelly Brown, well, your Nationals hopes are ended, but the pressure is off. You've won the World Championship. Enough points earned here. It's going to be a big number 1 in your car next year.
Yeah, well, I'm very disappointed because obviously this was the race to win for us at the moment, but World Championship means a tremendous amount, and we'll keep going. It won't get us down now, you know.
Looked like you burned up a motor on that last race.
I think we did, yeah. It was very close, about 1,000 feet, and it just fell down right there. And,
pick a winner for me now. You're out. Who's going to win it?
I would have to say Robbie Bruins. It's That's who I go for.
Okay, we'll see. Kelly Brown forecasts Rob Bruins as the eventual winner of the U.S. Nationals, but he departs world champion.
Enjoying the best day of his long career is Larry Dixon. Larry made it to the winner's circle in 1970, winning the Winter Nationals. This is the best showing he's made since that time. The Candies and Hughes car driven by Richard Tharp in the winner's circle at this event just a couple of years ago. Richard Tharp, also a former world champion. Dixon a little bit ahead at the start. And at the finish line is Larry Dixon, 6.07 seconds. The Tharp slowing 6:14. 234 miles an hour the speed for Dixon, 233 for Tharp. Some of the closest racing ever seen in drag racing has been the feature of this 1978 U.S. Nationals. Here in slow motion, we can see Larry Dixon doing a fine driving job. The car starting to make a move towards the center line. He drove right away from it and pulled out the win in the speed traps. Larry Dixon getting his car ready to go back into the pits. A lot of preparatory work going on between each round of racing with these 2,000 horsepower Top Fuel dragsters. Fellow qualifier Dave Uehara. The race of his life. This time he's matched against the man whose name is synonymous with Top Fuel racing, Big Daddy Don Garlits out of Sefner, Florida. Uehara qualifying in with a 5.84 second elapsed time. The quickest time down this Indianapolis Raceway Park quarter mile. The team is called the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Their names are Velasco, Cohen, and Oswald. We ask, which one is which?
He's good, he's bad, and I'm ugly.
You got it. That's it. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And Dave Uehara against Don Garlits. This is round number 3 racing in Top Fuel. A great start by Garlits. Uehara all over the racetrack, and it's Big Daddy wire to wire, 5.91 seconds. His speed 242 miles an hour, but the story here is Dave Uehara was just a little bit quicker. He ran 5.88 seconds at 243 miles an hour. Let's go back in slow motion. Maybe you can pick it up. It's just hundredths of a second. You saw Garlits move first, and that's what counted at the finish line. Each lane of the racetrack, a separate racetrack with its own timing devices, and it records Garlits there first. Let's go to Steve.
Well, Big Daddy was a little late in the previous round, but he sure sharpened up for you, didn't he?
Sure did. He sure came in. Do you know what he ran?
He ran a little bit slower than you did. At 591, you ran a 588.
Oh, no.
You're a little teasing about that.
Yeah, probably, but we know this thing's a little slow leading because of the Crowder glide. We got a different kind of clutch in it than the rest of them.
One more race remains in Top Fuel, round number 3. And it is Rob Bruins driving Gaines Barkley's car. And you heard Kelly Brown, the man that won the World Championship by virtue of his performance at this meet, pick Rob Bruins to win it. Shirley Muldowney, though, has a different thought. She is the reigning world champion. She wants to win the Nationals. Watch closely to see if one car gets an advantage over the other at the start. Looks very close. Bruins all over the racetrack, but he gets there first, and that's what counts. 5.92 seconds for Bruins. His speed, 238 miles an hour. Shirley Muldowney, 6:01 at 229. Here again, let's go back and watch as Rob Bruins, the car dancing across his lane, has recorded a fine 588 previously in round number 2. This time a 591, and we'll go to Steve Evans.
Close race, Rob.
I was so far out of shape, I didn't know where she was.
You were worried about crossing the center line.
Yeah, the center line or hitting the guardrail, one or the other.
This has to be the finest moment in your career, even though we're just at the semifinals.
It's great. The car's running super, you know. We all know Gaines has been there, and Gaines knows how to make them run. All I got to do is hit the pedal on time.
I've been asking other drivers as they lose down here who they pick to win, and guess who? You.
Well, that makes me feel good. They've got, you know, the confidence in us, and I know the car's up to it if I can keep from messing up, I guess.
And Jeb Allen is hard at work in his pit area to try to prevent Kelly Brown's prediction from coming true. He has the distinction of racing the hot-running Rob Bruins in the semifinal round of Top Fuel. We'll be back with more racing from the U.S. Nationals at Indianapolis Raceway Park in just a moment. One of the greatest hazards facing a funny car driver is an exploding engine and subsequent fire. Steve earlier took a look at some of the safety precautions at the Nationals.
Every time the funny car drivers suit up, so does a member of the NHRA Safety Safari in this special suit. Aluminized boots, a 3-layer suit, a sock for his head, a helmet to go on over that, and somehow the thought of a funny car fire is just a little less terrifying, knowing that Ronnie Wilson can go in and get the driver out.